think actually I'm inclined to go to the other end of the thing and start working on these guys.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the assault engineer in P3 and try and pop smoke into O4,
Got
which
it.
is 2 movement points. And I fucked it up again. Oh, 2 failures out of 3 on a 4 exponent. That's terrible.
Hey,
Oh no.
it's their first day at work. What's the range on the charges? Is it just one hex?
Yeah.
So they can throw in
Yeah.
one hex. Okay.
Yes.
So they could move to P4 and then throw them into the building?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna move out into the street here. Take the guys in O5, the squad in O5,
Mm-hmm.
with their submachine gun, with their light machine gun, and have them try and blast these guys.
It makes sense because they've got the charge.
They've got minus, they've got -1 on the 12 chart, so it's a pretty decent shot too.
Yeah, I would rather deal with the other unit.
Old lady plays cower if MMC without a leader, so they are definitely going to cower. They are regular troops, so they're not going to cower twice. They're just cowering the once.
So
But that means
conscripts would cower twice,
I think so. Yeah.
and cowering is moving one column over on the table, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they cower, which means instead of being on the 12, they're on the 8 chart -1,
Okay.
which would be a 9 on the 8 chart.
Which is a pin check.
That's important. Let's see whether they make a pin check or not. All right, it's a
And
7.
that was the last result on that column too.
Yep.
Was a 9.
Let's see if they make it 8. They do not make it. They are pinned.
You have to be able to expend movement factor. It says an infantry unit possessing a DC attempts to place it on its or on an adjacent target during its movement phase by expending extra movement factor.
Right, and if it's pinned, it can't do that. So that was an unlucky result for them. Now the question is, do we hammer them with the guys from M5 as well? Because I'm pretty sure that's in line of sight from M5 to P4. It's only going to be a 6 shot on the -1 with a -1. The pin gives you half firepower. So if they want to if they want to shoot somebody in the advancing fire phase or something, then it's halved again,
Okay.
which is pretty bad. Plus, you can't move or advance.
I'm trying to figure out if the unit, the German unit with the 9-1 leader, if they were to move, would we be better off waiting and gambling to see if they're going to move or not? Or do you think there's enough advantage to take the shot on that pinned unit to try to
No,
eliminate it?
no, I wouldn't at this point because it's not broken, so it's not going anywhere. Um, it's stuck right out there right now. It can't advance. It can't move. It's stuck in the open, and it's got a very valuable demolition charge with it. And you've got it pinned down with point blank range fire. Basically, I would wait, leave him right where he is. He's not going to move, and then in as soon as your next turn starts as the Russians, prep fire him into hell. Oh, well, that's right. We got to leave a residual firepower
Residual
over
fire.
here.
Okay. Yeah. See, totally blanked out on that again.
6 residual firepower, and put 6 on there. Yeah, with that leader in there, I think I'm feeling confident to try this. Let's give it a shot.
Okay.
We'll move out into O4. Assault move. And that'll be it for his move. This guy can fire. It's going to be doubled but halved. So it's 6 firepower.
Now, who's shooting? The conscripts?
No, they're not conscripts. The other one.
Okay, so the one in the building, not the
O5,
M5.
yeah, right next door.
O5 is firing. Okay.
Final fire, yeah. That's why it's halved. So it's going to be 6, and that's it. 6 flat.
Okay.
That's not a bad shot. We'll see how it goes. 6 flat. 7 on the 6 chart.
A normal morale check.
A 9 or better for the leader. 7 is fine. And then a 8 or better on the squad. 7 is okay. And that's going to drop residual firepower there of 2. It's not going to make a difference because we got nobody else over here to move, but it's good practice to remember it. Got a shot right here, so let's see
Okay.
how that goes. It's a shot at 8.
So
They
who's
haven't
firing now?
fired.
Is this
This is
M5?
M5.
Okay.
Yep. They got a shot at 8. They're both within range. So it's on the 8 chart with no modifier. No, -1 modifier. Because they're moving in the open.
But they did do an assault move.
They did do an assault move, so it's not -2.
Okay. Got it.
7 on the 8 chart.
That's a 1 morale check.
So that's an 8 for the leader. Morale check. 8 for the leader. Oh, he
Ooh.
failed. The other guy has to do it without the leader. So it's a morale check at 1, which means he needs a 6 or better not to break. And he did not break.
So the leader is going to have to route. Is that correct?
The leader will have to route.
Okay.
And from here, my eye says he's going to go to P3,
Yeah, that's what I would do.
where the assault engineers are. And yeah,
And then he can berate them for not getting their fire to work or their smoke to work.
exactly. All right, so that's that for that flank. The only people who haven't moved are the 467 in F5, the stack with the MMG, and the stack with the 8-1 leader.
Cool.
I think we're going to start with the same trick with the smoke and see if I can blow it a 4th time.
Let's hope not.
All right, let's go with smoke. 3, hurrah, we made smoke. So smoke, come on, smoke. There's
Somebody's
the
going to
smoke.
get some extra rations tonight if they
D7,
survive.
there we go. Hurrah. So let's move units out into the street there.
And
We'll
just so we're
have
clear, that smoke came from that 548.
548 in D6.
Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
now done. They've done their job.
Yep. So these guys move out with an assault move, and which means this is the time to shoot them. With the 3 426s that can all bear.
So is this where you can create a fire unit?
Yep.
Because they're all firing at the same unit and they're adjacent? Is that correct?
In the Texas, that's right.
Okay.
So we've got these 8 here are doubled for point blank range.
Okay.
That's 16 plus 4 from the other one is 20.
Oh, and that's perfect because there's a 20 column.
There is a 20 column. That's very handy. So it's a 20 column plus 2. Yeah. So 20 plus 2. It's a 7. So a 9 on the 20 column.
That is a 1 morale check.
Ooh, that's pretty stiff for a guy on his own. Let's try it. Oh, he fails. Which is going to leave 10, no, not 10, 8 firepower in that hex too.
So it
So-
leaves the 8 firepower, and then
Yep.
if a unit moves into it and they get to fire again, right at half, and we do all those numbers plus 8.
No, they will get attacked by the age as soon as they move into the hex.
So that gets resolved as an 8, and then they can get a final fire on them separately.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it's not we're going to do final fire and add 8. 8 is its own separate attack, and then
Right.
any additional are done separately. Got it.
Yeah. Now the question is whether to move in there directly or move around it through C8 and D8.
Well, Well, we might have to do a line of sight check, but I think C8 might take the unit in F7 out of play.
Yes, I think it might. Sorry, I'm trying to move the.
Oh, no, it won't. Eyeball it looks like it won't, but they will be at long range.
It'll be close,
So
but
they're going to be at half and at long range, and they're conscripts, right? So they're going to be on the one column.
yeah, which I think is going to mean they don't really contribute anything.
So I think it's worth it doing what you suggest. Go C8, D8, because that's going to be minimal from that unit as opposed to stepping
Yeah.
to the 8 and then let them even get another shot on you.
Yeah. So we'll take that and that. And they're going to move to C8, where the guy will not fire on them. See, in the normal rules, he couldn't fire on them because he's got a closer unit,
I think
right?
that's still in effect.
Is it? Okay.
Let's play.
Usually,
Let's play it that it is in effect.
right. So usually with first fire, having first fire, he can only shoot final fire at things that are closer than or equal to than anything that's already in his line of sight.
Okay, let's play it that way because I think that that's the way it is, and if not, we can adjust on the next half turn.
Okay. So then I will continue moving down to D8. All right. So anyway, when they move into D8, that's when he would final fire. So he's got a strength of 8. It's doubled to 16 in close, but it's halved for final fire. So it's back to 8
Mm-hmm.
and -2. So it's a bit of a dangerous run he's taken here. On the 8 column, 5. That's going to be a hard hit.
Yeah, it's a 2 morale check.
Yeah. So 5 or better for that squad. 7, not good. That's a bad place to break.
Yeah.
Because C8 is within line of sight and regular range.
So this is actually good because this I can learn about what is it called?
Routing?
Yeah, when he routes, but he routes into that location. What is that called? Not indirect. There's a term for that type of exposure.
Interdiction?
Interdiction. Thank you.
Yeah. The only way he can route is through the smoke and residual fire hex. So he's going to be in trouble. D9 is also within range, and he can't move to E9 because it's closer to a known Russian unit in F8.
Right. Yeah, he's just exposed, and however you slice it. Okay, cool.
The only way that he can go is through the smoke hex. So
And he's not moving any closer, so therefore he can do that.
that's my
And
understanding.
he's also not moving any closer to the unit in F7.
Right,
So yeah, that seems like it would be a legit movement.
right. But he also gets attacked, I believe, by the 8 firepower. Wow.
Which we talked about earlier, so I'm glad it's
8
happening.
firepower might have come off by then. That's what I need to figure out.
Okay, cool.
Because does he start to route now? No, I don't think so. No,
No,
he
it's not
routes
the
in
the route phase, yeah.
route phase. So it'll be gone by then. So maybe it won't actually make a difference.
And would the smoke be gone as well?
Yep.
Oh, so yeah, it probably won't make a difference either way.
No, he's cooked. Yeah, he's cooked. That's that light machine gun's going to get left out there. A nice German light machine gun too. Oh
Yeah,
well.
but the Russians got to step outside to grab it.
Yep.
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
worth it.
Well, that medium machine gun would just love them for them to do that.
Cool.
Um,
So the leader's not going to move; they're going to stay there,
yeah, I got one more decision to make,
and
which
that's
is basically the guy in F5 exactly.
Let me ask you this: Would it seems like they're in a peculiar position? Either wait till next turn to get smoke to move into like G6, or would it make sense to have them go backwards through that building at E5 to then move to D5 to kind of step into where D6 is?
Yeah. That's where I was thinking about as a possibility of going E5, D5, C6, and then joining up with the 8-1 leader going CX to do it.
Okay. That makes sense to me as well. I mean, the only other thing would be to wait for those engineers to pop smoke for you next turn to move into that unit, the Russians at H7 or 8
Yeah.
or
I was sort of hoping to
6.
have 2 units worth to go in there, though, because they've got the 2 units.
Yeah, okay.
We might just get that. No, I don't know. Is it worth making a flamethrower for a 6 attack plus 3? No, it isn't. So, don't know. 467. What do we want to do with you?
I don't think there's a
Hmm.
wrong answer here.
No, no, no. But
No, what I mean is, however we do it, because this is all training stuff. Even if it's horribly bad, I'll learn that it's horribly bad to do something.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, maybe that loopy move from E5,
yeah. But
D5,
it is
C6 or whatever, that might make sense.
because nobody can shoot me there because I'm too far away from the first fires.
And they're also you're not the closest unit, right? Because you're
That's what I mean. I'm
3
too far
away.
away.
Yeah.
I mean, they could fire at long range as final fire, but they can't because there's somebody closer.
Right. That's
So,
what I was getting at. So it's kind of a safe move.
yeah. And then last into here, NCX, which is this. And then move the leader on top so that we can see him. There we go. All right. So that should do it for the end of movement phase.
Okay.
So after movement phase, we take off all the green ones.
Okay, so in the rules, the next phase is defensive fire phase.
Right.
So because we've got a number of units marked with first fire.
Yep.
When it comes to defensive fire, that's all going to be for those units will be at half strength, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
But they do get to shoot now at this point, so they could go in and let's just say the unit at what D7
Mm-hmm.
with the DM marker. If those units shoot on that particular square,
Yeah.
they're going to get the -4 and all of that, but they shoot at half strength, doubled for the close. Okay. Okay. So.
Yeah.
And,
Well, the
and
DM counter won't affect them until there's a morale check.
right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
But
Yes.
if it
Yes.
does, then they're in trouble.
Right.
Although I think it only applies to the +4 to rallies.
Yeah. It says rally +4.
Yeah. So it's not like it's going to be a +4 on their morale check right now.
Yeah. I think you're right. It's only for rallying.
So the only question is which guys are going to fire and at whom.
Okay. So at this point, we're done with the movement phase. We
Yeah.
removed all the counters, and we're now going into the defensive fire phase.
Right.
And basically, all the units that can fire have already fired first fire, so they're all going to be at half strength or
Yep.
half firepower.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to have these guys in E8 fire on the ones in D7. So that's 8. It'll be doubled to 16 and then halved again. Halved for final fire is 8. And that's it. It's no minuses, no pluses. It's just a shot.
So,
So on.
just so I understand, at this point, that being in the open and not doing an assault move, those modifiers do not come into play
Right.
because it's not in the correct phase.
We're not in movement anymore.
Got it. Okay.
So it's an 8 shot. So it's on the 8 chart, and we got a 9 on the 8 chart.
Pin check. Pin task check, to be correct.
I don't think that's going to make any difference because they're broken.
And when they're broken, they can't fire.
Right. So there's no, and they're not going to be moving or advancing.
When does
just
the
gonna-
pin check come off, though? Because if they're pinned and they rally, could they still be pinned?
No, the pin check comes off at the end of the close combat phase.
Okay, so it's going to come off this turn, and the
Yep.
DM doesn't come off till next turn.
After the rally phase, yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah, the pin check. So there's really no point in
No, applying a pin at this point.
pass or fail. Okay.
So that leaves these guys here in F7 who could also fire at the same guy.
Now, could they have combined into a fire unit like they did originally?
Yes, but it wouldn't have been any point.
Because it's not going to move the column.
It's only going to move the column from 8 to 10, and there is no 10.
Okay, so that would just be wasted. So here we
Yeah,
get two shots as opposed to just kind of. Okay.
a shot at 8 and a shot at 4.
Yeah, which is
So,
better than just one shot at 8, obviously. Got it.
sorry,
Okay.
not 4, 2. Sorry. It's
Yeah.
going to be 2 because it's not point blank.
Right. Okay. But the point being is that at least we get that opportunity where combining it, you would lose that.
Yeah.
And we need to take every opportunity we can get.
Yes, because there's no snipers.
Yeah. I remember when you put that in there and I was like, snipers? And I was looking and I couldn't find snipers in the rule. You had me flummoxed for a good half an hour there trying to find out where the hell
Well,
are the snipers?
in certain phases, the sniper is active, and if you roll a number, a particular number, that sniper will activate, and then bad things happen.
Yeah. No, I like that rule. It just wasn't in the starter thing. And when you had mentioned that, I was like, going, oh my God,
Yeah.
I don't even know where the snipers is in the rules. I can't find it.
It's a bit complex to start with, so it's not usually something they put in
Yeah.
for the early ones. The medium machine gun in H6. I think that second shot is going to go after the German machine gun in D6. And it's within range for Texas, so full value for that. So it's a 6 shot because it's final fire
Okay.
with a rate of fire of 2.
But
Oh, and
there,
hang on. I don't think you can get rate on a final fire. 6 plus 3. It's not a good shot, but with no sniper, it's worth taking.
okay.
And that's not going to hit anything.
Okay.
I don't even have to look. I know that one.
Yeah. I'm coming to realize that when you got the lower columns and you roll 10s and 11s, it's pretty much a dash.
Yeah, it's going to get nothing. So yeah, that's the end of that section. Oh, we definitely want to fire on them. So
Yeah.
there's a 447 with a light machine gun and a conscript. So there's 10 there.
So where,
Double to 20, half to 10.
who's firing?
Sorry, I'm looking at J5 here,
Okay.
firing into the Smoky Hex, the formerly Smoky Hex.
Okay.
So it's on the 10 column, which means there's no point in firing the light machine gun.
Because you just run the risk of it jamming.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's got a breakdown of 11, so if we rolled an 11, it would break,
Okay.
which would mean a pain in the butt trying to repair it and all
These are
that.
the
So,
subtle things that over time I will learn.
yep.
Right.
So 8 double to 16 halved by the final fire is 8. So we've got an 8 shot and it's even. So 8 shot and it's even. A 6 on the 8 column.
That's a 1 morale check.
Okay, we start with the leader who needs an 8 or better. He loses it. Oh, we are losing badly this turn. So, and we means the other guy has to do it without his leader, which means he needs a 6 or better. He also loses it. And oh, what's the ELR is 3. That's bad. That's double bad.
Well, if they're broke and they fail a morale check, do they take wounds?
Or is it casualty reduction? I don't
I want to
remember.
say that makes sense, but let's look. An already broken unit that fails a morale check, so that implies that they do take a morale check, suffers
Yeah.
casualty reduction. An
Okay.
already broken unit that rolls an original 12 on a morale check is eliminated.
Okay. So this is 8, which is a failure. So it's casualty reduced, which means it goes down to a half squad.
Okay.
All right. So let's delete this. and then bring in a half squad. A first quality half squad is a 247. So there's a 247. Let's break it and kill that DM marker. Anything else in terms of this fire? Right. Yes, over here. M5 has a conscript and a 447. So they could put some fire on these guys and see if they can mess things up for them, which I think sounds like a pretty good idea. So they're going to shoot at 04 with a strength of 4,
Okay.
straight up. So 4 with a 5 on it. That's actually might be something.
Yeah. That's a 1 morale check. So that's a
Okay.
dice roll of 5 on the 4 column is a 1 morale
Yep.
check.
Yep. All right. So the morale check for the leader who is broken is a 9. It's a 1 morale check, so it's an 8 or better. He makes it. And then the 467 needs a 6 or better, and he makes it. Wow, they're good at this. That guy survived 2 sets of fire so far. Let's DFF that, and then eliminate. No, they've got to fire on that same stack again
So who's
to
firing?
try 05 on 04.
Okay.
The first firer here. Stack at 05 has a 447 and a 26 light machine gun. So they're going to have 6 doubled halved is 6 and no modifiers. So let's have another shot at these guys. IFT on the 6 chart, no modifiers. Ooh, a 3. That's brutal.
That's a K2.
K2. All right, so it's going to kill one of these units, I believe. Do you want to read off the result for that?
Yeah, so it says 1 unit suffers casualty reduction. So K number. It says 1 unit suffers casualty reduction, and all other target units must take a morale check, adding the indicated number to the
Got
morale
it.
check DR.
So one of them's killed and one of them's because casualty reduction on an officer is dead.
Right. So we just do it random.
Yep. So random selection means this here. Let's see if this does the right thing. Yep. There's random selection 1 and 2. They're both 2s. That's interesting. So there's only 2 units in the stack. So 1 or 2. The squad gets casualty reduced,
Okay.
and the other guy gets
A morale check.
Well, there, look at that. There's the squad to half squad thing. That makes that much easier.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, break that. No, it doesn't have to break, but it is casualty reduced. All right, so then we do the morale check for the boss man.
Yeah, and since it was a K2, it says that the 2
Yeah.
is the dice modifier.
Yep. So it's a 7 or better for this broken 9. 11. So he does not rally, or he does break, I should say. If he breaks a second time, I think that's wounded. Do you want to check what happens to a broken officer?
Yeah,
I believe it's wounded.
I believe it is too. Okay, actually it says a casualty reduction on a single man counter.
Yep.
A 1 to 4, they're wounded. A 5 through 7, they're eliminated.
Okay. So 5 through 7, they're eliminated. Next guy is dead.
Yeah.
This guy is dead. So there's still a half squad with a light machine gun in that hex, and he's not broken yet. But
So that DM marker needs to go?
yep.
Okay.
And then he's got to make a morale check too, for the leader loss, as well as for the leader loss task check plus a leader loss plus a morale check. So the morale check at 2, which means he needs a 5 or better to pass it. 7, he finally fails one.
Yeah. Okay. So now he's
Broken.
broken, and now he's going
And
to
then you
do
have
the leader one.
the leader loss one,
And if he
which
breaks, he's gone.
it's a -2 or a +2 to the die roll because the leader has a -2, I think.
Now, does the K come into play on him here as well, or is this no? It's because we're doing the leader loss, not
Yeah.
Okay. So that's I ran into that before and I played it wrong. So it's just the leader loss and
Yeah, that was his regular morale check, which just broke him. Now we have the leader loss check, which I think is it a task check? I think it's a task check. And then 8, he's going to fail that as well. So I think if you casually reduce a half squad, it's gone.
Yeah. I mean,
so
yeah, you a full one goes to a half. I would think a half goes to bye-bye.
Yeah. So I'm just going to flip that back to a squad and unbreak it and move it out. The light machine gun stays in the street, and the DM is gone. Ugh. So, bad rolling has not helped me in this game so far.
Oh, that was brutal.
That's they've taken a bit of a beating. So I guess I set things up well as the Russian.
Yeah, that's okay. Hey, it's all about learning.
Yep. So that's going to be it for that section. For defensive fire, now we have advancing fire. Anybody in a position to do advancing fire? He's not because he's pinned.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, at this point, all the Russians are done with their defensive fire. We have nothing else that we're going to do, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So the next.
So we can take off the defensive fire markers. Next is advancing fire. Who do we have to advancing fire?
And advancing fire is for the active player being the Germans in this case, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And that unit that's pinned cannot throw their charge.
They cannot.
And so they have no move, no advance. So that unit's done, and then we have machine gun laying in the street, and all we have on that flank then is that 548.
Yep.
So they could fire.
Exactly. So that's the choice right now: is do they fire on the nearby, the 05 Russians? It's going to be on the 4 chart with a +3. No, a 2 chart +3. So it's probably not worth the shot. What's the 2 chart +3 look like?
The 2 chart with a +3. Well, you only have results up to 6.
Right, so only a 2 or 3 is going to do anything.
Right.
So probably not worth the shot.
Well, okay, since there is no snipers, why would you not take it?
You could take it, absolutely.
I mean, unless there's another option. Are we looking at maybe firing at M5 instead?
No. I don't think that would be advantageous. It's much better if we can get this guy out of this hex, because he's the one directly between us and the victory hex.
Exactly. So at this point, since there is no snipers, there is no reason not to take the shot, even if it's really bad. Would that be
Pretty
fair?
much. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But this is a shot I would normally not take.
Right, because if there were snipers, it's not worth the risk.
It's definitely not worth the risk.
I just want to make sure I understand when you say, oh, it's not worth the risk. It's because of the fact of in the normal rules, there's repercussions, where in the starter kit, they're not as harsh.
Yeah, every shot you take is sniper bait.
Okay. Okay.
Basically.
And that's your mindset. It's like, hey, that's not a good shot. I'm not going to take it. But
well, if say the sniper activation number is 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the chances of my getting a result are on a 2 or a 3, which gives me 3 out of 36. But a 4 is also 3 out of 36, so I'm just as likely to get a sniper attack as I am to get a result.
Makes sense. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, and then you have to weigh whether you want to take that risk to try to get a result on that unit or not. Okay.
So with such a crappy shot, ordinarily I wouldn't take it. We'll take this one, 2 plus 3. That's going to be nothing.
Okay.
So you've moved, you advanced fired. Suppose we can mark you as that. This guy could want to advance fire. These guys are all broken, so if he advance fires, where and for what?
So is this J3?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
Again, might as well fire. It's a 2 plus 3 shot again. So it's a pretty crappy chance. That's nothing.
Okay.
The flamethrower. Now this is a question of whether it's worth. It'll hit. It's on the 6 chart plus 3.
So the risk here is that it could break, right? Is that the X10 number?
Yes. Eliminated, not broken.
Okay, eliminated. So X is eliminated.
Yep.
Okay. So what you're looking at is, do I take a risky shot and maybe lose the flamethrower, or wait till next turn and still have my flamethrower for whatever you're going to do with it?
Well, at this point, I'm a little bit worried about defense. But
Well, the scenario, I wouldn't think the Russians would be offensive, but maybe sometimes an offense is the best defense, right?
well, yeah. If you could, if for instance, this guy with the MMG moved out to say E5 or something, then he's going to threaten these guys down in C7 and D7 much more,
Got it.
right? Because he can shoot down either side of the house then,
Yep.
and that's going to make life there miserable. So, question is, do we use the flamethrower or not?
In general, in life, always use the flamethrower.
Yeah. It's only going to do. It's only a 6 plus 3 shot. So what's a 6 plus 3 look like? gonna
Results from 8 down. So what are you going to need, a 5?
Yeah.
Now, if you happen to roll low, which you're kind of having to do here, you can get less than 0, KIA 3, KIA 2. 2 is a 1 KIA, and a 3.
But the lowest you can get is a 5.
Oh, then that's a 1 morale check.
Right.
Okay.
Best result you can get.
Okay, so that's a 1 morale check.
Yeah.
So the question then, just so I understand, is do we want to get the best result? Probably nothing. Best result of a 1 morale check. And these guys are not broken or anything, so if we could break them, it would be nice. At the chance of losing your flamethrower.
Yep. Which, if you can get it out in the street, is a heck of a thing.
I bet. Well, if we can, we move, but we move that 1 unit, so we're not going to have smoke.
Yeah. No, I know. There won't be any. It's just. Yeah, there's nobody there to generate smoke for him. He can't. Well, he could do it himself, but then he's not assault moving.
Yeah. And
6. So it's a 5, 6, 7, or 8. I need to get a result at all. No, 5 through 8. Right? No, 2 through 5.
2 through 5.
2 through 5. So I needed 2, 3, 4, or 5, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 out of 36, compared to a 10 breakdown number, which is a 10, 11, or 12, which is 6 out of 36. So I've got a slightly better chance of using it than breaking it. What the heck? We'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I would go for it, but I'm an aggressive type player.
Yeah. Let's try it. 6.6 plus 3. That's a 5 is an 8 on the 6 chart.
And that's a normal morale check.
Normal morale check. Well, that's possibly worth something. Let's see. First morale checks inflicted on the Russians yet. So we got 2 447s here. The first one failed.
And that's the one with the machine gun.
Fails. They both failed.
That is good. 2 broken units.
It is very good. and it did not run the flamethrower out of fuel, so that's quite good.
Yeah, and that also now means next turn moving into that square increases the chances of really torching them.
Yep.
Well done.
Yeah, got lucky there. All right, so we've also got this machine gun in D6, which could
Yes.
be fired. That would be 10 at range, B5, which is 4,
And who would we be shooting at in this case?
E8, where there's 2 units there.
Okay.
Trying to break them so that it's not as dangerous for the guys that are going to route.
Yeah, and is there anybody? Oh no, they're all. Oh, everybody is broken, so there's nobody that's going to close into close combat. Okay.
No. So I could make a fire group here with the 8-1 leader, the 467, the 548, and the 512 MMG. And I think that's what we'll do.
Okay.
So it's attacking with a 4 plus 5 plus 5 is 14. No, sorry, not doubled, halved to 7, which is going to come down to 6.
Yep.
So we're doing the 6-shot plus 2 with the sorry, plus 3 because the CX on the one guy. So
Oh wait, so they're in a stone building, right? So that's plus
Yep.
3,
Yep,
and the CX adds.
1.
So it adds 1 to the whole fire group.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, let's play it that way. If somebody in the comments points
Yep.
us out wrong, just let us know.
Yep.
So that's plus 4, and then where do the minuses come in?
-1 from the leader who can't direct this because it's a multi-hex fire group. Never mind. So it's plus 4.
Okay.
So it's a 6 plus 4. What a wretched shot. But
Hey,
this is a good
let's
machine
take it.
gun break. So, woo! Huh. It almost broke,
And we missed.
but it didn't break, and we did miss.
Yeah, there's nothing on 11, and it
No,
didn't, no rate of fire.
no.
Okay.
So that's all the advanced fires, which I only marked 1, so I'll just take that one off.
Okay.
But that's everybody has advanced fired.
Okay.
So we have route phase. This is where things get interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, starting from the right to left, there's nobody to route over there. And in the stack in
So
the
the
middle,
pinned unit doesn't route.
right,
Okay.
because it's not broken.
Right. It's not. So only broken units route.
Yep.
Okay. So now we go to. What square is that? J4.
J4, yep.
Okay.
And all the brokies there will move back to I4, along with their LMG
Okay.
and their DM marker.
Oh, and there's an 8 that can go away. Now the Russians will also get a route potentially, right?
Yeah, no, but they're already in a building, so they
Right.
don't want.
What I
They
was
could-
getting at is the route phase is not only one side routes and the other side doesn't. It's everybody
No.
with a that's broken has to check to see if they route or not.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
So in the case of the Russians, because they're in a building,
They could stay where they are, but they're not going to be able to rally in that building.
how come they
So
can't rally?
they don't have a leader.
Do you not on your turn get one unit?
Yeah, you get one self-rally attempt, but it's not a great chance, especially under DM.
Okay. So
And if they stay where they are, they're likely to stay under DM.
okay. So what you're suggesting is they're better to move back towards that 8-1 leader.
I'd actually send them to the 8-0 leader personally, but
Where's the 8-0 leader?
J8.
And why is that?
Because I
Well,
don't
they
want to
can't
end up
move closer to the Germans anyway, so they can't move really close to that.
right.
Oh, because so H7, does that move them closer to any of those German units?
No,
Three. They could move vertically straight down to say H8, but it doesn't get them closer to the 8-1 because they can't.
right.
So if you move back towards the 8-0,
Yeah.
but how does the 0 help on them? Okay, I
The
see.
leaders, they both get to make rally attempts.
Got it. Okay, so that's the advantage. So in this
Yep.
case, and they can move without being interdicted or anything,
Yeah, because the guys that could possibly interdict them in
are broken.
on 4 are all broken.
So even the one at I-4 that has that straight shot down the street,
Yeah.
they're all
There's no,
broken. Wow, how fortunate.
yeah, so we could go H7, I8, and then in with the leader.
Got it. Okay, that all makes sense.
H7, I8, in with the leader, move the DM marker, and we're done
Do they
over
carry the
here.
weapon with them?
Nope, too heavy.
So if it was a light machine gun, they could have,
Yes, indeed.
but because this is a 2,
It would slow them down. It's got 5 portage points if you see just written
oh,
out.
okay, it's got 5. For some reason, I thought it was 2. I misread the counter.
Yeah, no, it's 5 portage points,
It's
which
5.
means it would slow them down by two movement points and they wouldn't reach safety.
And they can't be out in the open.
Right.
Okay, so they drop the medium machine gun and run off. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it for the Russian routing. The German routing is a little bit easier. We've got, all right, there's one leader and a 467 in C7. So yeah, that guy could go with his demolition charge back into C7.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, the other one, the guy in D8, I think is eliminated for failure to route.
If you move to C9,
Mm-hmm.
you're still
Interdicted.
now. What about this low crawl? And so, does interdiction automatically mean you can't route, or we just can't get them to a low? Is there no way they can get to B7?
They could low crawl to C8, but that's it.
And then they're
Crawl one head.
eliminated at that point.
If they are interdicted, I believe that means they're um, done for. I think.
Well, why don't we do this? Because we're going to be ending the turn here. And if we do it wrong, I'll do a little research. We could always correct it before we start the next turn. So nothing critically bad can happen here.
Yep,
So why don't
that's fine.
we can go ahead and eliminate them or leave them there and then
We'll just leave them there.
okay, and then we can
They
resolve it.
Yeah, they low crawled as far as we're concerned so far.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Now is this when all of the DMs come off?
No, not till the end of the rally phase.
Okay, I thought we were there.
Nope, this is route phase.
Oh, route phase. Rally route different. Got it.
Then we have the advance phase, which is a question whether or not I want to do something about that.
Well, we do have that unit now in G5 that
Yes.
can move to say H5. Oh, but you got the conscripts there that can shoot at them, right?
Yeah. On either side, G6 or H5.
And I already removed all the final fire. Did I do that too soon?
No, it's fine. They would be gone at the end of the defensive fire phase.
Okay, so we did that correctly. So if they do shoot, is it normal strength then?
They wouldn't be able to shoot in the advance phase.
Oh, so there's no shooting in the advance phase. So it's just a question of whether we want to move those Germans towards that medium machine gun or whatnot.
And hope they survive the attacks.
Yeah, because then the Russians will then, on their turn, have a flamethrower out in the open.
Right.
Oh, but they're going to get defensive fire. That's a little closer.
They can try and keep anybody from recovering the machine gun from where they are.
Yeah, I don't. Yes, okay, that I understand that then because they're next to it, right? They're
Well, they're
adjacent to
just
it.
well positioned to cover it from either side, from E7 to I6, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got the stack at I4 to look straight down the road.
And the advance move is just one hex, correct?
Hex, exactly.
Okay, so it's not like you can get into the building or anything.
Nope,
Okay.
nope, you could only move the one hex forward. So, that being the case, that would be the end of the advance phase because we're not actually going to advance anybody.
Okay.
Because this is, yeah, these guys over on the right side are all still full strength. There's nobody broken over here. So I don't want to move out into the street
Yeah.
with the assault engineers.
Makes
Um,
sense. Okay.
or in the middle with the flamethrower or the machine gun on the left. So I don't see any point in moving anybody anywhere.
Okay, let me ask you this. What about the unit in P3, the engineers?
Yep.
Would it make sense to move them up one?
And grab what, the LMG?
Either grab the LMG or be in a position to do. That's right. They're going to get to shoot. Okay, it's not like they're going to be able to move again.
No, the Russians would then be able to would take the next shot.
But then the Russians could only. They got the conscripts. You move into range of the conscripts. I was thinking that one unit, the ones in 05, there it is. They would have a
Right.
choice to shoot one or the other, but because there's conscripts at M5, they could still shoot at them. So
Yeah.
okay, that's a gamble either way. They're probably better where they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't. So that would end the advance phase.
Yep. There is no CC phase, so we
There's
can
no
just
CC
take
phase.
pin marker off. Delete pin marker.
And they're going, now we're not pinned.
Yep. Now we're not pinned. All right. And that's it for the turn, for that half turn.
Cool. Okay, so why don't we call it a session here?